Alright, so for lesson 2, we're still going to have the Oahu magazine cover open. We're going to go to View on our menu bar, Extras, and then Hide Frame Edges. So, View, Extras, and Hide Frame Edges, and that just gets rid of some of the extra frames there. We're going to drag and drop the green swatch on the top of the blue frame and release the mouse button. So we're just going to click here and drag it over. So you see whenever I'm using that little plus button, okay, drag it on top of the blue frame. So that changes that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our layers panel right here. And we're going to click the eyeball on the photo layer to hide the background image. So we're just going to click that little eyeball that gets rid of our picture. We're going to drag the pink swatch. So we're going to go back to our swatches, drag our pink swatch to the inside of the white text frame. So just drag it to right there, and the fill changes to pink. So pretty simple so far. We're going to get the selection tool if you don't already have it active, and then you're going to click the center of the pink frame and note that the fill and stroke tools on the tools panel. Okay, so fill and stroke are right here. The fill is active in front of the thing. Press X to activate the stroke. So if you push X on your keyboard, that brings your stroke to the front. And we want to click on gold. So we want to just change the stroke to gold. And then we're going to click the swap fill and stroke button. We're going to click this little guy right here. Switch those around. And so you just see that flip-flops those colors. We're going to click the default fill and stroke button on the tools panel. So this button right here. And that brings it to like a 0 fill and a stroke of black. And then we'll press X to activate our fill. So X just switches between those two. So our fill is active now. X. And we're going to click the paper swatch. So go back to white. And then we're going to click, we're just going to make sure you're right there. Let me go to the next step. Okay. And then we're going to click the selection tool and then click the twist and shout text frame. So I have our selection tool. I'm going to click on this text frame right here, and then I'm going to click the formatting effects button on the tools panel. So that would be this one right here. Okay, so you see it up here changes, my control panel changes when I select on that. The next thing that we are going to do is we're going to click gold on the swatches panel, gold swatches panel, and then we're going to click the amazing, oopsie, get the, oopsie, doop. Make sure you have your selection tool when you click on it, on amazing, text frame, and then note that the formatting effects container button is active on the tools panel because you have selected a frame. Okay, so that's active. We're going to click on our type tool or push T to get our type tool. Then we're going to select all the text in the amazing frame. So I'm going to select and drag. So that's all that's in there, right there. And then we're going to click pink on the swatches panel. So pink. And then we're going to click the selection tool to select the Maverick frame. Get our text, formatting, blah, blah, on the swatches panel. This is the button I'm supposed to be touching the whole time. So I'm going to undo a few steps. I'm going to go back to before we did that. So sorry if you copied that. So we're going to select the twist and shout frame. And then we're going to click this little button right here in the swatches panel. It helps if you read all of the directions. Because I did not. Formatting effects text. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click gold. So you see that's what it's supposed to have actually done. This is just different ways, and I'm going to select on this text box, get my text tool, select it, go to pink. Okay, now I'm going to get my selection tool, selecting Maverick, clicking on the formatting effects text button again, and then I'm going to click the green 25% to make sure that that pops up. Okay, so next step. Sorry if you had followed my craziness. Do apologize. Okay, so click the empty box for the icon on the photo. So I'm going to turn my photo back on, and you'll see that these are actually showing now, and you can read them. Some letters, like the M in Maverick, are difficult to distinguish from the background, so those are a little bit complicated to see, a little bit-ish, not that bad. but we're going to click the original black text layer on the layers panel. So this one right here. And we're going to go to our layer panel options button, and we're going to duplicate layer original black text. So we're going to go duplicate the layer, and we're going to double click the name of the new layer, so which is the copy, and we're going to rename that. Okay, so we're going to type colored headlines in the name text box, and we're going to click the color list arrow, and we're going to change that to orange so that your layer options box looks kind of like this. Alright, so once it does, you're going to press OK, and then you're going to hide the original black text layer. So this one right here, we're going to hide. Okay? Alright, so what we're going to do now is with the color headlines layer still active, so with it still selected, it's still active, we're going to delete Fall 2015 text frame so that you will not need a duplicate of that text. So we don't need that right there. Okay, so we're going to hide the color headlines layer. So we're going to hide color headlines and then show this original black text. Okay, so we're hiding that. Okay, see. Alright, headlines hidden, original black text showing. Alright, so we're almost done with this lesson. So we're going to click the selected items button on the original black. So this one right here, this little button, to select all those in that original black text. So once we click that, those are all selected. Okay. And we're going to click the Formatting Effects text button. Okay, so we're going to click that's on the swatches panel, so we'll activate our swatches panel. And hang on just a second, y'all's class is coming in and y'all being loud. Hey, can y'all have everybody be a little quiet or tell them to kind of keep it down? I'm finishing up one of y'all's lessons. And then we're going to click this button right here and then apply 100% black fill to all the text and deselect all. So we're going to do a black 100% fill. Whoa. Black 100% fill to all the text. Okay. So I had my tint down right here wrong. So if you did that too, just bring it up to 100%. Click on the black and you see that it fills 100% there. Alright, the next thing we want to do is we're going to deselect everything. So I'm just going to click off on the little side right here. And then we're going to show the colored headlines layer. So I'm going to turn that back on. We're going to turn, so all of our eyeballs should be on right here. And we're going to click the select buttons to select all the objects in that layer. So we're going to click this little button right here to select everything in that layer. We're going to click on Object on our menu bar. So up here on our menu bar, Object, we're going to go down to Transform and then Move. So down to Transform and then to Move. And once we click that, we're going to click the Preview checkbox just so that you can see what we're doing as you do it. And so with that little checkbox selected, we're going to type -0.04 in the horizontal text box. So I'm just -0.04, and then the same in the vertical text box. -0.04 right there in the horizontal one. Okay, so once you have those typed in, you're going to press OK. And so you see that it is a little bit easier to see those now that we have that black text behind our color. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to deselect everything by clicking in our paste board. And then we're going to drag the gold swatch onto the green frame. So I'm going to get my swatches. I'm going to grab my gold swatch, paste it on my green frame. And I'm going to activate the preview button option if necessary. And then I'm going to drag. Alright, so once you do that, you're going to double click gold to open up your gold frame. Alright, so we've opened that up and we are going to activate the preview option. So we're going to click this little button and we're going to slide this black one all the way to 100%. Right there. And then we're going to drag it back down to 20% because it just starts to do weird things. Okay, so we're going to be at about 20% right there. Okay, so once you're there, you may need to, okay, so now it wants us to move it again to 5. And then we're going to move the magenta to 100%. So once we have that one on 5 and magenta on 100%, we're going to click off. You see that it's like a red color. We're going to press OK. And we're going to drag the gold swatch to the delete swatch button, to the little trash can. We're going to drag them down to the trash. Okay. And then it's going to ask you if you want to do a define swatch from the list arrow. And we're going to click this list arrow and we're going to click pink. And then we're going to press OK. And pause for a second. Alright, so once you get to this point, what I want you to do is I want you to do your screenshot right here. This is where you're going to end lesson 2. And just screenshot. The border should be pink and you should have gotten rid of the gold color over here. So screenshot that right there, and that's what you turn in for lesson 2.